That's why it's important that you obey God. I need about 1,000 people that will give right now.
Huh? It's on the table. Is that how it works? Listen, I grew up, as you well know, if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, I grew up in a Christian nationalist type household. Moved around a lot as a child and went to all kinds of different churches. We always found the type of church that you could hang your hat on, set your watch to, that there would be revival times where we would watch over satellite, when the satellite dishes were like massive things that were out they had these telethons and all this nonsense. And Jim Bakker featured very prominently in all of this. Jim Bakker, the convicted felon, the guy who went to prison for bilking his congregation out of millions and millions and millions of dollars. He's a grifter and a liar and a charlatan, and he is back at it, selling his buckets of prepper food and whatever nonsense. But he's also at his core a lying evangelical grifter, without a doubt, telling his audience that he speaks directly to the creator of the universe about everything seen and unseen. That's why we have the bat phone here, and that's why we sell the sticker, the bat phone sticker, exposing liars, grifters, and charlatans one call at a time. Dollemore.com. Anyway, I guess I got too much influence from Jim Bakker trying to sell something while I'm talking about Jim Bakker. In this clip I'm getting ready to show you is the alarming lengths to which people like Jim Bakker, and it's not just him, the White House faith director, White House Office of Faith, Paula White has been on this kick, trying to get people to give hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars to support her. Otherwise, they're not showing their faith in God, the person who created the concept of money, the being that created the concept of money, needs us to give money, even though I guess God can't just create money. That's not a thing. But Jim Bakker here is really leveling the threat that, hey, listen, if you don't give me $1,000, I need $1 million. I need 1,000 people to give me $1,000. Otherwise, I'm gonna be on the street, he says. If only. Anyway, watch shameless charlatan, Jim Bakker.
If they foreclose on this ministry, they will take my house too. So I will be in the street.
But that won't happen. God's too big for that.
But I don't care. I mean, I've never been in the street, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken or a seed out begging for bread. That's you.
Amen.
That's you.
Amen.
God will stand with you if you stand with him.
Amen.
That's why it's important that you obey God. And I need about 1,000 people that will give right now. Some can maybe not give the $1,000, but you can give $100.
That's right. The seed offering.
And I want you to mail it in right now.
If you need money that bad, Jim Bakker, with 2 Ks, maybe you could sell one of the Ks and then just be a regular Jim Bakker instead of 2 Ks. Jim Bakker says, if they foreclose on this ministry, they will take my house too, so I will be on the street. But that won't happen, because I know Oral Roberts style, you're going to come through for me. I talk about this a lot. I don't understand how people get bamboozled by this unholy bullshit, by this charlatanry, this obvious fakery. This man is no more religious than I am, and that's saying something because I am no longer religious. Jim Bakker is a liar, and he has a portion of his congregation with this ministry he talks about who believe that he will be on the street. Jim Bakker is a multimillionaire who has made a name for himself once again in the wake of the chaos of Donald Trump in supporting the fascist, anti-Christian policies of Donald Trump, selling prepper food during the pandemic, and then that continued. Buckets of food so you can take care of your family in the end times when Jesus comes. It always, another thing that always shocks me that I'm still unable to get over is the fact that people believe God is all powerful, The congregation of Jim Bakker believes this, yet they need to intervene on his behalf, on the behalf of someone who has a bat phone to Jesus surgically implanted in his brain. He could just talk to God at any time, yet he needs you to give him $1,000. Rather than pull himself up by his bootstraps or whatever conservative mythology he wants to peddle, he wants you to take care of him. Maybe you should have kept your financial house in order like you tell everybody else to do, and you wouldn't be in the straits to where your ministry is going to be foreclosed on and you'll be in the street. Maybe it would teach you a little bit of a lesson about being a con artist and a dirty, filthy scumbag who steals from people. Maybe, just maybe. Anyway, what do you think? It's nice to get this stuff off my chest. Don't you wish you had a YouTube channel where you could just excoriate these con artists and these liars? It feels good sometimes. It really does. Tell me what you think. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Please consider, again, supporting this work. If you want one of these stickers based on this phone, you can go to dollemore.com and we will get one shipped out right away. It's either Brittany Page or me will be stuffing that envelope with the sticker with our grubby little hands, or my grubby little hands. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. Catch me on social media. If you're already there, I'm at Dollemore, and I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another. Many of you are aware that my dear friend and brother of choice, not of blood, Brett McAfee, suffered a near-fatal medical emergency last summer while our families were on vacation in Scotland. I appreciate to no end the outpouring of support for Brett that you all gave. And I'm also very happy to report that he is safe and healing and working that long path of recovery. What I've probably not told you about Brett is that beyond being an excellent friend, he's also a talented writer. We have been the best of friends since we were kids, and I have been continually inspired by his creativity and by the truly singular take that he has on life. Over 2 decades ago, he wrote a poem called The Grateful Child. It's an acknowledgement of all the simple strengths that we tend to overlook. Written from the perspective of a young person, multiple grateful children express gratitude to their parents for the elements that make them who they are. The accounting of these everyday gifts inspires a clear reminder that we should not take anything for granted. I've shared Brett's remarkable poem with numerous people over the years, and a reoccurring response is that this should be a book. Well, we finally decided to listen to those people. The Grateful Child is not only a children's book for adults in your life, it's also an adult's book for children in your life. Everyone will appreciate its straightforward yet elegant celebration of life's little endowments. Click the link below to pre-order now, or simply scan this QR code and order your copy or copies today. But this being an illustrated book, we could not survive on the words alone. To pair with Brett's touching words, we searched all over for an illustrator who could bring the Grateful Child to visual life. We landed on somebody right here in the community from this show. Leah Farshid is an internationally acclaimed illustrator who, like you, is also an audience member. The moment we saw the first images that Leah drew to accompany Brett's text, we knew we had a perfect combination. It brings me tremendous joy to share my best friend's beautiful poem and Leah's spectacular images with the world. Everyone can benefit from The Grateful Child, just as I benefit from Brett's lifelong friendship. Share this beautiful book with your children. Share it with your parents or other relatives. The Grateful Child is an easy and exceptional way to show appreciation for someone in your life, young or old. Support someone you love and support this channel by giving The Grateful Child. Click the link below to pre-order now, or simply scan this QR code. I am pretty sure your children need a copy, and your mom, your nieces and your nephews, your Grandpa Charlie too. Don't forget Grandpa Charlie. I think he'd love this. Make The Grateful Child a part of your life. It has been such an excellent part of mine.